Welcome to the amazing world.
Let us understand the causes for the October Revolution of 1917. The causes for the October Revolution. After the February Revolution, we learned that the provincial government that was formed removed restrictions on public meetings and associations, and as a result, industrial workers and other workers formed trade unions and factory committees. They grew in number, and as they grew in number, they now questioned the way industrialists ran their factories. At the same time, the soldiers who were now without a leader, that was the Tsar, now formed their own committees supporting different ideologies. The other cause was the Soviets that were formed by June 1917. There were 500 Soviets that were formed, and a all-Russian Congress of Soviet Association was formed, where representatives from these 500 Soviets attended. This all was troubling now the provincial government. This was happening in the cities, but away in the countryside too. The peasants were creating problems because the peasants, along with the social revolutionaries, those are the peasant revolutionaries, socialists, who were demanding for redistribution of land, now pressed for the provincial government to do it. At the same time, they formed land committees, and by July, we can see that what was said in the April thesis by Lenin was been actually done in Russia. The peasants were seizing the land from the nobles from July until September 1917. The main cause was when the provincial government was worried as to how to crush the movement that was taking place, and they soon realized that it was the growing influence of the Bolsheviks to take power from them. So they had to crush the worker movements and committees that were being formed. And to do that, they resisted the attempts by workers to run factories, because we know that these factories were actually run by industrialists who were in the provincial government. And so they started arresting those who were forming these workers' organizations. At the same time, they had to suppress the Bolsheviks and took stern action against the demonstrations that took place in July 1917, where you can see in this picture they are firing on the Bolsheviks who are demonstrating. All these led to the cause of the October Revolution of 1917. These Bolsheviks who were being suppressed now started fleeing and also hiding within Russia. So this all provided the fertile ground for the revolution. To summarize the causes of the October Revolution, in industrial areas, we see factory committees and trade unions grew, where they formed and which questioned regarding the way industrialists ran their factories. Soldier committees were formed in the army. By June 1917, we see 500 Soviets formed representing an all-Russian Congress of Soviets. All this troubled the provincial government, who found that it was the growing influence of the Bolsheviks to take over power from them, and as a result, they tried to crush and resist the attempts made by workers to run factories and started arresting them. At the same time, they took stern action against the Bolshevik demonstration in July 1917. As all this happened in the cities, in the countryside too, the peasants and their socialist revolutionary leaders pressed for a redistribution of land, which was one of their demands. And they also formed land committees. Along with that, the peasants now seized land between July and September 1917, as it was written in one of the theses, April theses of Lenin. All this formed a fertile ground for the revolution of October Revolution of 1917. Thank you and see you in the next video.